So when I think about AI is a way of taking, bias out of a lot of our human-based decision making. So when I think about things at Veterans Affairs, we have a lot of people that make a lot of decisions every day. And one of the challenges is ensuring that we are providing consistent services to our clients. I think one of the key things AI can bring to us and do for us is actually bring things together in a more consistent manner. So we take a little bit of the human out. We think like a human, but we take a little bit of the bias that we as humans may have, and we use a machine to kind of compensate for that. So we actually get more effective and better decision making. So I think there's opportunities in AI as an organization to adopt these things, not only for productivity, not only for making things better, but also more effective decision making. Less bias. We talk about bias in AI, but I'd argue if your data sets are clean, if your information is correct, then technically the system itself, the AI, will actually probably be less biased than a human. So I think there's lots of opportunities in government for AI to improve our decision making. I think as governments, we have rich amounts of data available to us. The challenge, of course, being that a lot of that data is biased. So for example, at Veterans Affairs, I'm not going to say that all marginalized groups are treated equally throughout our history. So a lot of the historical data we have contains those biases. So I think for me, one of the biggest challenges of implementing, especially when you get into the space of generative AI, I'm looking for lower risk situations where I can use these technologies. So what are some things that I can use them for to increase productivity that will not increase risk, especially in terms of affecting marginalized groups? When I think about risks and bias in our AI, I think one of the key things we can do is that analysis up front of our information to see if it contains bias. So a lot of times we train our AIs, and as such, we need to make sure that the data we're leveraging doesn't contain those biases. So that means things like GBA plus analysis, looking back at our history and seeing where biases did happen in terms of programs we delivered, the clients we have, and then making sure that when we employ these technologies, we don't look to carry those forward into our solutions. I think transparency is probably one of the greatest things we can use to uphold public trust. So that being said, from my perspective, it's being open when we use AI. And I think there's a lot of solutions out there that are black box, and part of being knowing and understanding how your system works and how it functions is very important. So not just trusting that the AI tool I use will give me the appropriate results. Lots of testing, lots of training, lots of things we can do to make sure that when we implement these technologies, we're clear, we're open about how we did it. One of the fascinating things is the Government of Canada has a whole framework around automated decision making and how you can kind of measure bias in that, and then we actually post those things publicly. So we are upfront about where we use it and how we leverage it, and kind of the bias and risks that go along with that, so that the public can have trust that we have done our due diligence in our solutions. So at Veterans Affairs, we work really hard to ensure that we do have an inclusive environment for all, including those in the LGBTQ+ communities. We support this via a number of ways. First, we do have champions assigned in the department who are there to promote and ensure that inclusivity is taken into account in our daily work. We have many events we celebrate, of course, but also through technology solutions. And one of the most interesting ones we've done recently was our Give a Name initiative, where we have implemented this technology that allows us and folks in these communities to be able to choose their given name, which is very important. And when it is applied across all our systems, our logins, our emails, to ensure that people can be referenced by whatever they choose, and ensure that they can be included in all activities of VAC. So in terms of where you get started, I'd say at Veterans Affairs, we've been in the AI space since about 2016 when we started playing with it. And that being said, it's taken us quite a while to get to a point where we're comfortable to use it. So my biggest tip is start now, because the longer you wait and the longer you think about it, that culture change, that change you need to make is just going to compound out longer and longer. So if I could give any advice, it's start playing now. It's pick something easy, pick something simple, pick something low risk, get in there and try it out. And then once you've got that down, once you started building the skills, once you've started building the capacities, that's when you can start looking at the bigger problems. And that's when you can feel confident that what you're going to implement is going to deliver the value you really need. Events like today, or events like Public Sector Network, are important because, as a technology organization, I'm focused on delivery. I'm focused on, taking the problems I have today and implementing them. And sometimes we put on the blinders, we get in there and we build those solutions, but there's so much going on in the tech space around it. There's so much information out there. IT is moving so fast these days, it's hard to keep up. So events that bring these, all these folks together, academia, provincial, municipal, federal, private sector, allow us to see what's going on and kind of take us out of our daily grind of working on those, solutions to our problems, and find out what's been going on in the sector, and allowing us to think about more innovative ways and how we can better deliver those services. Sometimes it helps reorient us. It brings us back into a space where we can take a step back sometimes of that daily grind and find some efficiencies and find some better ways and being able to catch up to the industry that moves so fast.